From the land down under, with the rock at its centre, comes the little Aussie watchman. TLAW today, Jesus Christ versus Mohammed. The two largest world religions, Christianity and Islam, dominated the religious landscape for the last 2 millennia. With the rise of fundamental Islam, that is, Islam that takes its cues from a literal interpretation of the Koran and the Hadiths, there has become a renewed focus on the differences between the two founders of their respective religions, that is, Christ and Mohammed. Christ died so that all could become free. Mohammed killed so that his God could rule. Christ is called the Prince of Peace, while Mohammed was the prophet of war. Mohammed preached death to the infidels, while Christ prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." The word crusade is not mentioned in the Bible and not performed by Jesus. Jihad is repeatedly mentioned in the Koran and was carried out by not only Muhammad but also the caliphates that came from him. Muhammad's disciples killed to spread their faith, while Christ's disciples were all killed because of their faith. Muhammad promoted persecution against non-Muslims, while Christ forgave and converted the chief persecutor, Saul. Muhammad and his fellow warriors murdered thousands. Christ murdered none, but saved many. Muhammad's method was compulsion, while Christ was conversion. Muhammad practiced force, while Christ preached faith. Muhammad said to the masses, "Convert or die," while Christ said, "Believe and live." Muhammad was a warrior, but Christ is the deliverer. Muhammad declared holy war, jihad, against non-Muslims, while Christ reprimanded Peter for cutting off an attacker's ear. Muhammad constrained people by conquest, while Christ constrained people by love. Modern-day Muslims celebrate Islamic acts of terror, while Christians are grieved by previous injustices done in the name of Christianity. Many Muslims are peace-loving because they do not follow the teachings of Muhammad, while many Christians are peace-loving because they follow the teachings of Christ. Muhammad called on his servants to fight people, while Christ claimed his enemies were not flesh and blood, but spiritual and ideological. The Koran says, "Fight and slay the pagans wherever you find them," while Christ said, "Preach the gospel to every creature." Modern terrorists draw their inspiration from Muhammad's teaching and his actions, while this includes murder, rape, and slavery, while true Christians draw their inspiration from Christ, who laid down his life for others. Muslim men are taught that their wives are their property, while Christian men are taught that they must love their wives as Christ loved the church. 99% of terrorist attacks are performed by Muslims in the name of Allah, and I cannot find a terrorist attack performed by a Christian in the name of God, certainly over the last 50 years. Remember that Christians and Jews have been severely persecuted in the Middle East, and they haven't fought back by terrorizing their Muslim neighbors. And finally, Muhammad's grave remains occupied, while Christ's grave is miraculously empty. There is no comparison between the two faiths. Islam is clearly a religion devised by Satan and is being used by Satan to steal, kill, and destroy humanity. While false Christians can perform evil, they find no inspirations from Christ's life to do so.